Hello. Hello, hello. It is I, Lance. Been a bit. It's been a bit, which is to say it's been a weekend. But I swear to God, this last weekend felt like it was like, I don't know, 4 days long. Hi Daniil. How's your day? How is your lovely Monday evening or whatever it is in your time zone? I never remember. Today's kind of a boring day for me. It's been cloudy. It's been cold. The sun barely got out. It's very annoying kind of day. Not really interesting. Plus, I stayed up late last night watching WrestleTuber because it was amazing. And that means that today I'm actually sleepy. I almost didn't go live today because I was thinking, oh my God, I'm so lazy. I don't want to do anything right now. But I don't want to do it. Just slept 6 hours today after night shift, and it was pretty good. Oh, let's go. I had like 5 hours of sleep, so we're not that far off. But I swear to God, maybe it's a psychological thing. I swear to God, I feel the difference if I get 5 hours of sleep versus getting 6 hours of sleep. I don't know how it works, but I feel like there's a difference. Anyway, this has nothing to do with what today's stream is all about. But I want y'all to know this. Okay, first off, let me actually go into Genshin. Just to have it ready, because okay. Let me see. It's related with cycles of sleep? Might be. I don't know. There's something weird. But I swear it feels like I am more I have more energy if I go to bed at like 12 instead of 1 a.m. Because then I get like 6 full hours of sleep, and 6 full hours of sleep somehow feels better than 5. And it's just 1 hour, sometimes even half an hour. I can tell the difference. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that I've convinced myself that that is the case. Also, okay, this is a funny bit. This is a funny thing that I've always noticed, but I never really brought attention to it because I don't know. But for some reason, I feel obligated to share it now. I use this music software called Music Bee on my computer because I like the music player. If I want to play music locally in my computer, I use this player instead of the default Windows one. It's cute, it's nice, but I have made music, right? Like the music you hear in my streams is usually my music. And so when I export from FL Studio to a file, I put in the artist name, and my artist name is Lance White. So MusicBee, being a music software, connects to the internet and like looks up information about Lance White. And so because it looks up information about Lance White, I end up with shit like this. I think this guy is called Lance White. I can't tell you if it's the same, if because it also has like a, I guess a little bit of a bio on whoever this artist thinks I am. This is literally me. Is it now? The Pit UPMC health plan guy. Also, the cover art, my cover art, that's just literally a bag of popcorn. Maybe I am a bag of popcorn, but I'm also a former Canadian municipal and provincial leader politician. He served on the Edmonton. I served. Sorry, internet said that it's you. I mean, I must be right. Apparently, I served on the Edmonton City Council from 1983 until 1992, and I moved on to provincial politics. Yes, because you have to, right? From 1993 until 2001. I was born in Winnipeg. Look at that. I'm doxing myself right now, but because yeah, of course, the internet never lies. Why would it? Imagine spreading misinformation on the internet. Anyways, the reason I bring this up is because every time I start stream, I'm looking at someone's face because I have this open while I'm just waiting for the starting soon screen to happen. And so I find this guy's face, but also, whoops, I didn't mean to save that. Oh, come on. There was literally some other dude before starting stream. Oh, come on. There isn't. There was a next picture. What do you mean? Okay, never mind then. There was another dude. If you must know, there was another dude that showed up. Along, it's not just Pit guy here, but It was a dude that looked very different. Anyways, that's it. That's the tangent I wanted to I wanted to bring up, just because I found it funny. What is the chips in the left bottom corner? That was a bag of popcorn. It wasn't chips. Apparently, there's a popcorn brand somewhere in the world that is called Lance. And so I guess that's me. No shit. Yeah. I haven't looked it up, but I'm kind of curious to see what country are these bag of popcorns that have the... Oh, hey, Overflowing Mastery is available today. Do I want to do this? Not really. I don't necessarily have a lack of any of these, do I? Oh, I don't have a lot of these. Oh, well, I kind of do, actually. How about this? I do have a bit. How about this? Oh, I don't have a lot of this, but I'm not doing this because, yes, the Mondstadt domain friggin' sucks. Have you seen the Boot Hill trailer? I have seen the Boot Hill trailer. It's friggin' awesome. We can watch it later. Because okay, here's the thing. Here's the plan. There is no event or anything to do in Genshin other than, did I? Oh, I forgot to, whoops. Earlier today, I meant to log in earlier today to spend my resin, but I haven't done it. Whoops. Which means that tomorrow when I log in, I'm not gonna be full. I'm not gonna be capped on resin, and that bothers me. You know how a lot of people, presumably the ones that are upset about the resin cap increasing, you know how they get upset because they don't like to see their resin caps? Well, I get upset when I see my resin uncapped because it bothers me. Also, hi Squeegee. Welcome on in. How's your day been? My day's been okay. Hasn't been great. I'm feeling a little bit sleepy. I hope I'm not cultivating any I don't know if cultivating is the right word. I hope I'm not beginning to get sick or anything like that, because this always happens when weather starts doing crazy shit. It's good. I'm glad to hear. We're gonna do some domain runs. Some daily stuff. Let me open some chests or whatnot. And I want to take a look at some of the trailers that came out. I want to do a little bit of a React Andy, as they call them. A little bit of a React Andy to the new 4.7 stuff, because listen, I am excited. I am beyond excited for the next patch to come. It cannot come any sooner. Honestly, not because of Chlorinde even. And I mean, listen, I am gonna pull for Chlorinde. Don't get me wrong. But honestly, I'm more excited because of the lore stuff. I am not gonna lie. At some point I joked that I was an exploration main, which isn't entirely incorrect, because I do like exploration and stuff, right? But I'm a lore nerd. I'm a lore main. I'm a story main. That's what I am. Reaction Andy is what it's called. Yes. I don't know why Andy specifically, but that's what they're called. React Andes. But hey, as long as you do it properly. As long as you do it properly and you're not being a dumbass about it. You're not stealing content and whatnot, and you're actually, providing insightful commentary. React Andy is fine. Being a React Andy is fine. I'm not gonna be that kind of guy that sits down and watches, I don't know, Mr. Beast videos all the time. I'm calling out Ludwig on that one. I'm kidding. He does watch a lot of Mr. Beast videos. I swear, every time a new Mr. Beast video comes out, he makes a stream and reacts to it live. I don't know what it is about it, but the algorithm seems to like it. And most importantly, I guess their audience seems to like it. Mr. Beast! Yep, the guy himself. So yeah, you're not gonna see Mr. Beast videos on my YouTube channel, no. Unless I'm making a meme out of it. But I don't see myself making a meme or something like that. I mean, I do see myself making memes. Because I like making memes. Case in point, I made a meme earlier today that is gonna go up on this master. Oh god, no. that is completely different. What is this? Hydro damage bonus? No. I mean, sure, whatever. Okay, so before I forget, I made a meme. I made a video. I made a meme video that took me like, I want to say 30 minutes to make, or an hour maybe if we're being generous. I don't know if you guys know about 21 Pilots, the band, the music band, the musicians, Tyler and Joseph. Well, you may not know their names, but I feel like you probably know 21 Pilots because they had a few hits. We had a few hits, and they recently came out with a new album called Clancy, which I really like. But there's one song in there that caught my attention, and I was like, oh shit, I can make a meme out of this. And so I proceeded to make a meme out of it. You'll see later. I'll put it up once I'm done with stream. Haven't heard of them in a while. Well, they just put out new music. If you enjoyed their stuff in the past, then chances are you'll enjoy their new stuff. I'm degenerate. Don't be harsh to me. No, it's fine. I'll be merciful. Oh boy. Well, that's not me talking. That's Squeegee talking. We've gone worse places on this stream. I feel like we're being pretty calm today. It's Monday vibes. We don't have to be so like extreme on a Monday. The Monday vibes is the Monday blues. We're just chilling, maxing, relaxing, all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of school. But yeah, I made a meme and I'm really glad. I'm actually really like pumped. I'm not necessarily pumped about it, but I think it's really funny. It's very stupid, but it's right down my alley of stupidity. So I'm excited to get it out there just because I feel like the world needs to see. And if I'm not the one to make it, somebody will make it. I know for a fact I'm not the only one who thought of this idea, but I might have been the first one to actually upload it. It's just started. Don't say such things out loud. Oh my god, do you think I'm gonna jinx it? Do you think we're gonna devolve into degeneracy in like half an hour? I mean, it is a possibility. It's always a possibility. Physical damage bullets? You think I have a Neola build? I do have a Neola build, and she doesn't necessarily need any one of these anyway, so. Oh, I got a better artifact for my Arlecchino earlier today because I did some artifact runs. That's why I didn't like spend my resin. That's why my resin was capped, because I logged in with the intention of like, you know, crafting the condensed resins, and then I realized that I already had some condensed resins left over from yesterday. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna spend this now. And so I spent that, and then I logged off. Some people can go here and poison our chat with degeneracy. Sometimes it happens because of a typo. I mean, you never know. Okay, let's see. We can do the daily quests, which should not take long. But honestly, I want to do a little bit of exploring because this area is not entirely finished. What's the 79%? Okay, so there's still chests and stuff to be found here, and I kind of want to do that. My alt account has started to use their low profile videos by confusing some of our moves. Oh, really? Like what? How, in what way are they getting confused? Like, I don't know exactly when you decide to use which one. At the very least, I know which one are you, right? So sometimes I see a squeegee like, and I'm like, okay, that's squeegee. And then sometimes I see the other like, and I'm like, okay, so now squeegee's on this ult for some reason. I don't entirely like, since I don't, you know, use anything other than one Twitter account. I don't understand the concept of using alt accounts. Oh, they decided to do the same thing. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Well, that would be interesting. I should check maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I still have it. I didn't necessarily close it down, but it's been ages since I used it. I have an account that I use for like personal stuff. There's a chest over there that I have. Oh, I fought that guy before. Yes, I have fought that guy. That's like a local legend. It's a bit of an annoying fight. But yeah, I had an account for like personal use with my real name and whatnot, for like you know, real life purposes. Because I made it in high school and everybody Everybody in high school had Twitter, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make myself a Twitter. And so I used it a lot then. But eventually I hated it. Because I kept like finding the stuff that the people I knew IRL that they would tweet about. I kept finding that annoying. And I didn't want to hear about it anymore. And so I didn't exactly close down the Twitter account. I just stopped using it. At that point is when I made my Lance White account, and that's what I've started using ever since. Things that you're talking to yourself. Well, that it would cause that confusion. Yes. Can I even go outside? Oh no, there's like literally nothing else here. Okay. Well, then let me go up here. So well, yeah, I mean, sometimes I go in there just to like, I don't know, get some updates on the people that I know in real life, but most of the time it's not helpful stuff. Most of the time is a lot of them just decide to talk politics. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that, and so I don't. Why am I here? This leads nowhere. I'm supposed to be trying to find chests. But yeah, no, but I inadvertently I see a trial. Inadvertently by breaking away from having a Twitter dedicated to my IRL self and making one for my virtual self, if you will. I've discovered the solution to Twitter. And the solution to Twitter is just literally make a Twitter where you don't have to be, you know, yourself, follow a bunch of stuff that you like say artists and like anime stuff. Wait, what the fuck? Who do I use? What do I use? Do I just Huh? Am I supposed to? What the fuck? Am I supposed to be using something? Usually these things give you like a little guide to. Okay, I'm just gonna use that guy. What did he do anyways? Oh, this was the laser one, right? Does this work with the pufferfish and whatnot? My friend just sent me such a degenerate and funny meme. Oh, those are the best ones though. No, it doesn't. How am I supposed to do this? I don't know how you could share it though. See, these are the situations where the Discord server would come in handy. These are the situations where the Discord server would come in very handy. Also, I see one of those things over there. Pretty much did that with my alt as well. I mean, it is the safest thing to do, right? You still get to use Twitter, so you still get to engage with the things you like. And you get to not feel fucking disgusting and terrible after frigging browsing and stuff, because you get to just see fan art and stuff, right? I mean, there's Booba. Well, that makes it even better. Let's see. How am I supposed to do? Am I really just supposed to do this with the little whip thing you give me? Wait, does this break up? Does this actually break up? No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm doing this. It's just 10. It can't be that difficult. Ow, that hurt me. Whoops. I'm sorry. Ow, that hurt. That also hurt me. That's fine. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is how you're supposed to do it, but I'm doing it anyways. There you go. You do share one brain cell. The brain cell is shared evenly along the entire chat. Like if more people come into chat, the brain cell gets equally distributed. Which means that if we get more people onto stream right now, that means that we're gonna become dumber. Collectively, we become dumber. Actually, you know what? I'm coining that. Oh shit. Come here, crystal flies. I'm always in need of those. I'm coining this as the Lance White theorem or theory or whatever you want to call it. Every streamer shares a singular brain cell with their entire chat. And so the more people there are in one streamer's chat, everyone collectively becomes dumber. That is my theory. I'm gonna make a research about it. I'm gonna publish a thesis on it. I'm looking to get some credits with that. Hopefully I can be recognized by the scientific community with it. I need to get better at my bits. Maybe it's the Monday vibes, but I feel like I'm even sillier than usual. Like we usually are very silly, right? We do silly things. But for some reason it feels sillier today. I bet it's because we're tired. Where I say we as if, but no, but then again, the unified brain cell theory. That's the name of it. The unified brain cell theory. I'm proud of that one. I'm proud of that achievement. I see a trial over there. By the way, how many did I make? Oh God, 1.5. I mean, I am getting pretty close to full exploration of this area, which I guess it makes sense why I'm finding these things harder. Oh, that's a chest. Like, this is a small area, but it's densely packed with a lot of things. Also, Sealy. New noble nominant. I don't know what a noble nominant is. What is that? Oh, it's this thing. Do I get to... Oh, please give me. Oh, you're back? I didn't even notice you were gone. There? Uh-huh. But without triggering any explosive barrels. Gotcha. Oh, this is actually kind of scary now. Don't... Now. I'm so good at this game. Noble Premier? I don't know. Nobel Prize? Oh, you mean a Nobel Prize? I don't think they would give out... Maybe they would give out... No, they would give a Nobel Prize for that, yes. Well, they literally wouldn't, but... You get my point. They could. Where? I saw a chest on one of these broken... This one. There you go. It's okay, it's okay. Again, the unified brain cell theory. The more people there are in chat, the dumber everyone becomes collectively. Because every chat... Oh, you want me to... Oh, okay. Ow, what the fuck? How dare you? Excuse me. Oh, this is the worst one to fight these motherfuckers. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, there we go. It's prize on English? Yes. That's what they're called. That's what it's called. It's the Nobel Prize. I take it premia means like prize in English then. Just came out of nowhere. Come on. No, stop it. It doesn't help that Ningguang is actually very squishy. I should be using Zhongli for this. Thank you. I'm only missing like, I think with the one that I just found now, I think I'm missing like 7 Hydroculi and I have all of the Hydroculi in Fontaine, which is exciting. Because that means I don't have to do a lot of exploration before Nadland comes out. Which is going to happen soon. Okay, we need to do 2 more things. We need to do 2 more things and then we can focus on the thing that I titled the stream about. Oh, time trial. We doing those? I already know about that one. It's already marked. Are you gonna try Wuwa soon? Yes. That is the plan for Wednesday's stream. I don't know how long I'll go. But I at least want to try. I don't see myself playing Wuwa. I like Wuwa. I like the name Wuwa. it's a fun thingy. It's a fun way to say the name. Check email, you're gonna love it. And Wuwa, I heard that they're giving away a free 5-star character. Is that what you mean? Because like they've had a lot of issues during launch of the game, and so to compensate, they're giving away a free character. Is that what you mean? Do you have a chest in you, good sir? No, you don't. Then get the fuck away from me. Do you have a chest? No, you don't. Then get the fuck away from me. I don't give a fuck. The only thing I'm worried about in WUWA is yeah, and a lot of polls. Well, that's every gacha at launch. Even Genshin had a bunch of polls at launch, I remember. The one thing I'm worried about, well, not necessarily worried because I have a good computer, but I heard that the game had, like, you know, technical issues, right? So because of the technical issues, I heard that people were getting lag and whatnot. And so I worry that because I don't want to try it out before going into stream, I'm worried that we're going to have a lot of scuff that stream. Somewhere around 60 pulls and a free 5-star? Oh, hell yeah. Maybe we can get to a point where we gacha a bunch and we get something. But yeah, I'm worried that hopefully it doesn't happen, but I don't know. I have no guarantee that it would happen because I have a decently good PC to run Genshin pretty much smoothly without any frame drops or anything like that. But then again, Genshin runs in a potato and it's pretty well optimized. Most of the bugs are already fixed. It's running much better. Oh, so they have done some fixes. That's good to know. That does give me a little bit more confidence. I'm not finding a new thing. Like, where haven't I been in this whole place? God dang it. Oh, you know what? I haven't been much up here, actually. Well, I have been, but, you know. But yeah. I am interested, mostly because I want to know... here's the thing. I hate to do I'm not doing it, but I hate that the tribalism, I think is the word, tribalism. Oh, Genshin better, Genshin could never, and like, Genshin killer failed and whatnot. Like, people love to hate on one game over the other for whatever reason. I never really understood. I do understand it because a lot of people are just like mean on the internet for no reason. And it's not that I want to prove that WUWA is worse or better than Genshin. I'm just curious about it. Because like I've heard good things about the game. I've also heard bad things about the game. Regardless of whether or not it's compared well to Genshin or not. Right? That's like the one thing I don't care about. I don't care about how it compares against Genshin. It's gonna warrant a lot of comparisons because well, shit, they're very similar games I've seen. But the comparisons shouldn't be in order to, like, you know, put down one over the other. I think I play WUWA a bit and then drop it for ZZZ. It's meant to be a rival for Raisin. I don't even think that it's meant to be a rival. It's just meant to be another game that exists within the same genre that Genshin occupies. And that's perfectly valid for it to exist. Tower of Fantasy is also in the same place. Tower of Fantasy also had a lot of issues. Like, Lord knows I had my issues with Tower of Fantasy, and I don't know how well it's doing nowadays, but it's not dead, so something is happening within Tower of Fantasy at least. But yeah, I don't even think that's meant to be a competition or anything like that. Going by the fact that fucking MiHoYo devs have gotten excited about getting to play Wuthering Waves. And so I think it's like, it's less competition and oh, give me 1 second. I might be actually needing to do something in the house. Hold on 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. There might be some noise because apparently they're gonna be fixing the gate outside my room. So whoops. Well, and Genshin are pretty much lookalikes. WoW is a bit better for me personally, but it's not that entertaining. It's just this Genshin. Okay. So who outdoes another? There's a lot of like here's the thing. The competition that people talk about often happens with just the with the players themselves, because people hate one thing and they're like, oh no, my thing is better than your things. And that's what makes it fucking annoying to me. Because I'm not one to argue for that kind of stuff. If you like Genshin more than Wuwa, that's perfectly valid. If you like Wuwa more than Genshin, that's perfectly valid to me too. If you like both, that's perfectly valid for me too. In fact, the healthiest approach to me would be to say, oh my god, 2 cakes, and be like, oh, I can play Genshin and Wuwa. That's like the thing that I don't understand. What's like the need to get so defensive about your thing being quote unquote better than my thing? It's like the one thing I never understood. So I guess what I want to do with my own stream, hopefully you can't hear like all the yapping in the background, because I hear it, but it's fine. What I want to do with my stream is I myself want to try out Wuwa to form my own opinion. I don't think I'm going to be playing Wuwa for the foreseeable future, but I still want to, like, you know, I'm going to be curious about it. Apparently heard that someone was trying to blame Hoyob on messing up with Wuwa's release. Oh my god, that is the weird people that Daniel's talking about. Yeah, they just feel the need to stir the pot just because. They are so eager to defend their favorite thing that they would go ahead and just shit on people that like another thing. Yeah, that's a lot of that happens on Twitter, yes. But I'm not really. It's not. I mean, there are Twitter moments. Don't get me wrong, but it happens all around the internet. You see it in Reddit. You see it on YouTube. You see it on Twitter. Just social media in general. Which is why curate your social media, and then you'll enjoy social media way more. Okay, but speaking of curating stuff, did I do all the daily and stuff? I mean, there's also Abyss, but I don't want to do Abyss. Oh god, there's 4 days until it resets. I'm probably gonna do this tomorrow or something. I don't have stream tomorrow or anything like that, so that's fine. I got some time. Let me. I'm gonna have okay, good. The noise in the background is not getting picked up by the mic. I see it. I do see it. Okay. Let me see. Hopefully you're not hearing the game. Right now you shouldn't be hearing the game. Yes, we're good. Okay. Here is the thing. What was the name of the... I was going to put out Genshin 4.7. Genshin... YouTube, for the love of God. For the love of God, YouTube. Load. I use Firefox and Genshin and... Genshin. YouTube and Firefox just works like as. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to watch. Oh god, shut up. Excuse me. Okay. Here's the thing. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to turn on display capture. You should be seeing YouTube. Yes, we're good. Tell me, is the volume good?
Paimon,
is the volume all right?
And play Marashosei Hunter Judgment Day?
It seems like it's nice. It's fine by me. We have subtitles anyway. Okay. 4.7. 4.7 is exciting for a couple of things. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out in 4.7. And I kind of want to dive into it. Because actually, I watched the live stream when it was happening. And the live streams happened earlier during the day. Which means that most of the time, I'm at work. So I have to watch the stuff at work. So I can't really pay attention to a lot of things. Because I have... My work is in a laptop. Sometimes I have to like tab out to do something else. So I don't pay attention to a lot of what happens on the stream. And I don't particularly give a fuck about like, you know, the events and whatnot. That's not super important. But what I do care about are the trailers and the stuff. So I want to take a look at the trailer to see the stuff that I missed. Because Lord knows there's a lot going on in this trailer. And Lord knows I might have missed some things in my tiny laptop screen at work. Plus, I get to maybe like do some theories or something. I don't know. I don't think I'm good at theorizing, but because my recommended videos throws me Ashikai, who is way better at this than me. But you're like, let's see. There you go. Okay, let's see this.
Traveler, Paimon,
This is in English, by the way.
would you join us and play Marechaussee Hunter?
Canon pronunciation of Marechaussee. I didn't know it was pronounced like that. I always said Marechaussee. It's Marechaussee. Okay. Maybe it's not 100% accurate because, you know, English localization, English dub, weird pronunciation.
Judgment Day?
You make for a good theorist? Oh, I feel like I'm too small brain for it. Hold on. Let me go back. 5 seconds in. This is apparently the game that they're playing, right?
This script was adapted from the real
history of Marechaussee Hunters. You play the role of hunters in a bygone era and resolve a series of events.
The Marechaussee Hunters. You all will play the role of hunters.
Why are they in Mondstadt, though? Does that mean that a little bit of fan service? Yeah, it feels like fan service, doesn't it? Why would Navia, Farina, why would they be in Mondstadt? I know we're getting a Dainsliff quest and what's her face? A Chlorine quest and a Sijuin quest next patch. There's a lot of shit happening, right? So my question is, what are these cutscenes from? The Navia quest, maybe? No, the Navia. The Chlorine quest, maybe? Germany meets friends. Genshin Impact. Oh, God, no. Genshin Impact recreates World War II or something? No. But it is about the Marechaussee Hunter. And Chlorine has some connection to the Marechaussee Hunter from what we know. From what little we know of her. Literally 1940. Oh, boy.
From a bygone era and
because Lenny is also there. Why is Lenny there? No way. Right, now we go into the Chlorine stuff.
Customs I've adopted from the Marechaussee Hunter tradition.
See, so she adopted a lot of things from the Marechaussee Hunters.
Against lawbreakers. For when I draw my blade, I am but an instrument of Fontaine's law.
An instrument of Fontaine's law. Give me 1 second. Let me find a page on the Marechaussee Hunters so we can get a little bit of a refresh as to what the Marechaussee Phantom, actually. She is so pretty. She is pretty. Okay. These are the Marechaussee Phantoms, also known as the Marechaussee Hunters. They are a detective force in Fontaine, led by Nouvellette. A lot of them are comprised by Melusines, yes, but that wasn't always the case. Melusines weren't always, existed. So we know of a lot of Marechaussee Hunter members, and they're all Melusines. But characters that have a very big importance in like the entire lore of Fontaine, like the Guillotine brothers and even Marianne herself, have been part of the Marechaussee Hunter. So my question is, what does Chlorine have to do with them? Chlorine is apparently a successor to the Marechaussee Hunters of old and is trained in the art of their marksmanship. This apparently comes through Navia's character story and also Nouvellette's voiceover about Chlorine. So Chlorine isn't exactly a Marechaussee Hunter, but she succeeded them. Because again, the Marechaussee Phantom is not exactly the same as the Marechaussee Hunters of back in the day. There's also the artifact set, the Marechaussee Hunter, which is, that's what the lore is. Apparently, let's see, what does it say here? The brooch is an emblem that was awarded to those who had made exceptional contributions in battle. Well, duh. Apparently was especially designed and given to those who had in the past performed feats of arms in Fontaine's defense. Insignias of sword were largely symbols of glory, but some award deeds would conceal them or consign them to the water. It seems as if the lore of this artifact set was just mostly just related to the old school Marechaussee Hunters of back in the day, because it talks about Alan Guillotine. Yeah. Oh, the thinking machine. This is Seymour. Yes. There's a long quest, not necessarily a long quest line, but a series of quests that is everything that is all interconnected with one another. That tells you a lot about the lore of Fontaine and the different factions that revolved around Fontaine back in the day, and nowadays too. So this all ties back into that, and we've learned, we've learned so much. But at the very least, we know that the marriages of hunters that this artifact set describes do not exist anymore. The ones that do exist are the marriages of Phantom, and they are led by Nouvelette, and it's just an organization comprised of Melusines that do a lot of like investigation and whatnot. Want to play Cyberpunk? I that seems pretty random, but I think I know why you say that, because I remember also when I played Cyberpunk, I remember perusing the wiki for this kind of stuff all the time as well. That game has a lot of dope ass lore. So I completely understand. But yeah, it feels as if whatever game this is, which is probably going to be the crux of an event, of the main event of the patch, is definitely related to the marriages of hunters. And we're probably going to learn a lot of lore about them there. Who the fuck is this guy? Main NPC guy. But yeah, whatever this main story is, revolves, like, not revolves, but is, starring Clorin, Navia, Farina, and Linny, which is an interesting combination of characters. BRB, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Do your thing. My brain just reminded me some of Johnny's statements, and I want to play it. We got a city to burn. What is it? Wake up, samurai.
The real history of the Marushosei hunters. You all will play the role of hunters from a bygone era and resolve a series of events unfolding in the capital.
So, okay. Are the images we're looking at part of that game? Because it seems pretty intense.
Many of my habits are customs I've adopted from the Marushosei hunter tradition.
They fought against monsters. Yes, because back in the day, Elenas and whatnot. Yes.
While I fight against lawbreakers. For when I draw my blade, I am but an instrument.
She is so pretty. I want her. I played in Russian. Ah, yeah. Well, it's something like that. It's something like, "Wake up, samurai. We have a city to burn," or something like that. That's Johnny Silverhand. You want to know the best part about Chlorine for me? Her ult. That's one of the coolest ults in the game.
Time to testify.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. Look at this, like the frame where she like slows down. Look at this. Yo. And she shoots a bunch of guns. She's a sword user, but in her move sets, I think after using her ult, she switches to like shooting guns. And it's so cool. Russian Johnny is better than Keanu. Really? That's a tough sell. Okay, so here's the thing with Genshin trailers. Because Genshin trailers revolve around an entire version, and a lot of things happen within the version. They have to like blend a lot of things. And so now we go to a shot of this thing, which is related to the new game mode, which is the labyrinth or something? Imaginary something? No?
Madam Mage says that every page of a storybook is a segment of the present.
It's so vast and mysterious. There must be quite a story behind this place.
Don't remember the name of it. I can listen to it. Yeah. I'll check it out. I'm curious about it. But yeah, this bit right here is the new end game mode. Give me one sec. I'll look it up. I have to go on the other screen whenever I Google something because I'm afraid I'll dox myself. New endgame. What is that? What is the name of the new endgame thing? Imaginarium Theater. Yes, that's what it's called. It's Imaginarium Theater. Is this thing. Okay, I hate this thing. I hate the Reddit this. I hate this thing. I hate the Reddit like visualizer of images. But yeah, this is the new gameplay event. the one that's like going to rotate alongside Abyss, which is, it's got a lot of people excited, I think, because it could potentially be the thing that endgame wanters have been, clamoring on for years. Or it could be a flop. We don't know yet. I, myself, being casual, I'm not particularly excited about it because I don't particularly care about these kinds of things. But if it's easy and fun enough, I'm willing to play because I also get Prima Gems. Hello, Midnight. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We're discussing 4.7 stuff. We're looking at the trailer, going over the wiki, over some lore stuff. New controller arrived. Pog. Let's go. Okay, so to come back to my original point of Genshin trailers, a lot of things happen within one version, and so the trailers usually just like, jump back and forth between a lot of things that are happening in the version. They don't just make one story trailer or something like that. They don't. They literally don't. They could potentially do a story trailer and then an event trailer or something like that, but they don't. And so what happens is they have to promote the upcoming characters, the upcoming events, the upcoming story, and whatever else. And so that makes the trailers a little bit disjointed, a little bit confusing, because there's a lot of shit happening all the time. And so, after having this little bit of a stint with showcasing Florent, sorry about that. After having this little stint of showcasing Clorinde, we go to another section where we discuss imaginary theater, Imaginarium theater, which we don't know much about. We know a little bit of what the gameplay mode, implies. It's a new endgame mode where you fight a bunch of enemies and you like select a specific roster from a specific roster of characters with specific limitations. You get buffs in between all of it. It's a game mode. It's a game mode. Whatever, no biggie. You also get poses for your characters near the end. That's fine. The lore of it is interesting to me though, because this kind of imagery, this kind of room and whatnot, and the fact that it's in Mondstadt of all places, I think, if I recall correctly. I might be wrong on that. New endgame after 3.5 years, hell yeah. But the interesting thing is that this probably has to do with the Hexen Circle. When this little mascot character introduces this thing, it says, Madam Mage says that every page of a storybook is a segment of the present. Madam Mage, Mondstadt, I'm sorry. Monday blues, you know how it is. English do be hard. But this little guy, who is adorable, might I add, is saying is that this Madam Mage is the creator of this whole Imaginarium theater place, and this Madam Mage is more than likely a member of the Hexen Circle, which, if you haven't been around for the one event where they were like properly introduced, I guess. I don't think they were quote unquote introduced in an event, but we did get to know a little bit about the Hexen Circle as an organization in an event, which sucks. That's fine. It's a group of mages or witches or mages, if you will, who conducts Irminsul being the big tree that runs underground and is connected to the ley lines of the world and whatnot. And the Dendros Archon, Nahida in this case, is connected to her consciousness is connected to the tree. Well, they're the ones that are, like, if we're talking power scaling, the members of the Hexen Circle are probably near the realm of Archons almost, I would say. They're not quite Archons, so I guess I would say that an Archon is probably more powerful than a member of the Hexen Circle. That being said, members of the Hexen Circle are not to be messed around with. The one that we know of, the quote-unquote the most, I guess, would be Alice, who is Klee's mom, who has been said to be one of the most powerful per people in the entire world of Tevat. And apparently they have the ability to travel through worlds or whatever, because apparently this Alice person gifted Barbara an idol magazine, which presumably, from what people have like surmised, it's a magazine from our world, from the real world. Like, I don't know, like if you brought a freaking like copy of Shonen Jump or something to Barbara, and Barbara's like, oh my god, idols. Because that's an entirely foreign concept to Tevat. And Alice brought it, presumably because she at some point went on like another world where idols exist. Gonna start playing some Genshin with it, doing quests to get Primos to Farina. Let's go. You for your birthday, was it that you needed her to be in like the second half? Because now we literally know what the banner order is. I think Farina was in the first half. No, Farina was in the second half actually. Yes, Farina's in the second half with Sijuin, because I remember saying that they fucked over Sijuin by putting her with frigging Farina of all people. Like, no one's gonna pull for Sijuin, and that sucks. I mean, not for me, because I wasn't planning on pulling for Sijuin, but for the people that were, and that don't also have Farina, that sucks. But okay, going back to the Hexen Circle, there's 8 members. Well, 7. One of them graduated, quote unquote. One of them like left. And they all have code names with letters. Okay? Well, a few of them are dead, I remember, yes. Alice is the one we know, who is the Klei's mother. She is the elder of the Hexen Circle, presumably the leader, which is why people assume she's the strongest, right? There's also Barbaloth, who is Mona's master. I would have pulled for I hate him since I have Nahida and good after. Oh, well, there you go. See, sometimes you have to make the tough choices like that. Then you also have Rena Daughter, who is Albedo's mom. Albedo's During and the Rift Hound's creator. Yes. Apparently she is a flower that is not of this world. Again, otherworldly images, otherworldly text. So these people are strong enough that they might even be above the regular level of like the people in Tevat. Nicole, which is N, which is the person that we talked to during the Scaramouche quest and also during the Fontaine quest, if I recall correctly, right? Yeah, there you go. She was identified as the mysterious voice at the end of the Archon quest as the Morning Dew in the Interlude Chapter 3 in version of Genesis. At the end of that quest, she drops by and says, and she drops by our minds, because she apparently can somehow speak to us in our minds and is aware of the changes that happened on Irminsul. You know how the Wanderer, how Scaramouche like alters Irminsul so that his existence was like completely erased and he became a new person, and nobody ever remembers like the original quote unquote timeline, if you will, or the original world with Scaramouche, except for the Traveler, because he's not from this world and therefore is not affected by whatever changes happen in Irminsul. Well, Nicole is also not from Tevat, I guess, which means that she can retain information, that she can retain the memories of what happened with whatever changes happen in Irminsul. So she is aware of what Wanderer did. She is aware of the original what's her face? Of the original Dendra Archon of Rukkhadevata. She's aware of all of that because she talked to us. She talked to us and be like, don't worry, I know you. I know that things have changed and people wouldn't believe you, but I know. Don't worry. That means that the Traveler, yes, continue. The reason why the Traveler remembers remembers Rukkhadevata and remembers Scaramouche from before he messed with Irminsul is because he is not from this world. He is not registered, if you think that's why they knew of the Forgotten stuff. Yes. Presumably because they're not from this world. Or at the very least, we know that the Traveler is not from this world, and Nicole somehow knows. Presenter by mistake, it happens. And then she came during the Archon quest in Fontaine saying that the prophecy would come true. Whatever. Let's see. Let me see if there's like a little bit of info on her. We don't necessarily know if she is from another world or anything like that. We can presume that she is and assume that that's the reason why she knows about the changes to Irminsul, but we don't necessarily know. Then there's also this Ivanovna N, which was the Scarlet character was one of the main characters during the event where they were introduced. That's the one that passed away. One of them that passed away. There's also Anders' daughter, who is the author of The Boar Princess, apparently, which is a series of books in Mondstadt, which is cute. Look at that. Apparently was a contemporary of Ivanovna. And then another 2 members that we do not know of. Maybe we'll learn about these other 2 members with whatever lore is related to the Imaginarium Theater gameplay. Because again, the aesthetic of all of this is very reminiscent to the aesthetic of the A Secret Island in the Sky. Well, the table doesn't necessarily look like that, but I want to know if there's a Windbloom's Breath. I know there's like a frigging no, I meant the event. I meant the quest, not the story. Act 3, Joy Above the Clouds. Here. I want to know if we can like where's a cutscene? There was a big cutscene. This one, the Mage's Tea Party.
Ever heard of the Hexenzirkel?
Oh god,
As the
Spanish
spooky name
subs.
suggests, it's a secret society.
Okay, never mind. Well, what I meant to say is that the aesthetic of this trailer, the colors that they use, it does look very... What the fuck is that? Why am I getting My Little Pony recommended here? Huh? Okay, never mind then. The colors, I mean, are very reminiscent of the colors and the vibes of this. This just gives me Hexenzirkel vibes, is what I'm trying to say. All that to say, this gives me Hexenzirkel vibes. Someone goes by voice later on Discord. Someone goes by voice for an FNF chromatic. Okay, sure. I guess. Sure, just hit me up. We'll figure it out. Brony exposed. No, it's because I guess it was because, like, if you look at a video here, YouTube is not sure of what to recommend because it doesn't know, like, who am I guess. I don't know. Weird. Thanks, no problem. No problem. Okay. Where were we? Right. I think this event is Hexenzirkel related. Now, I don't know exactly how much lore is there going to be on this because, again, it is an endgame mode. And Mihoyo knows very well that most people don't engage with Abyss, which is the only endgame available so far. So the reason that they're adding this is a bit vexing, to say the least, because for the longest time, we thought that Mihoyo didn't really care about endgame and they wouldn't really add a new endgame mode. But yet here we are. And this endgame mode, from what we've seen, it seems a lot more accessible and a lot easier for the casual player. Because they even let you use trial characters. So hi, Henio. You got here just in time for me yapping about the new trailer. Welcome on in. How's your day? How's your day? How's your lovely Monday going? Anyways, so it makes me wonder exactly what they plan on doing with this. Because if they expect that a large part of the player base will want to engage with it, then maybe they took it as an opportunity to throw in a little bit of extra lore. Because again, this feels 100% like a Hexenzirkel thing. Like a Hexenzirkel lore drop thing. Now, there's been leaks, I think, or rumors. Let's call them rumors because I don't know how verifiable these things are, how accurate they could be. But there's been TCG and Teapot are also in game. Yeah, that's true. Technically speaking, I guess that is true. but it's like less important, quote unquote, than this. Because speaking in lore terms, at the very least, we don't really know. It doesn't really have too much of a connection with the rest of things. But this one, there's the Hex and Circle vibes is what makes it super interesting to me, because I think they're making this endgame mode with you know, a bit more of a focus on the casual audience, because they know that the largest player base in Genshin by far is the casual audience. People that log in maybe not even every day to do some daily quests, farm some primos to get some characters they might want in the future, do a lot of the story. MiHoYo's not dumb. MiHoYo does the surveys for a reason, and they base a lot of the decisions with that. And sometimes they ask about stuff like Abyss and stuff. So if they do the surveys and at some point they realize that, hey, people aren't really doing Abyss, then maybe they're not going to focus a lot on that. Because they're like, well, shit, Abyss isn't really being a thing. Like, we have the group of people that are still doing Abyss, so we don't want to alienate them. But also, a lot of people don't like Abyss. And so I think this is their way to try and like fix that. They're trying to make an endgame mode that is difficult and like engaging enough for the hardcore players to you know, sink their teeth in, but accessible enough for the casual players who aren't really interested in Abyss, or rather don't quite like it and prefer something more laid back. TCG part is endgame and not battle, so theater is second battle endgame. Exactly, and not everybody engages with that either. Like, whenever you see endgame discussion, people just straight up don't say TCG and Teapot because, well, it's not a fighting, it's not a combat endgame. And for a lot of people, Genshin is about the combat, and they really like the combat, and they would like to have a place where they can like showcase their units, or they could like, you know, test their mettle, if you will. And so I think Abyss is a way of doing that, but Abyss is getting stale. Even the people that do Abyss regularly don't quite love Abyss. TCG has PvP, that's true. It gets old after a while. Yeah, it does. It's boring. And besides, it's not an interesting way of making a challenge. Because the big challenge of Abyss is the fact that there's a time limit and the enemies have a gajillion HP. The difficulty of Abyss is just artificial. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people do it because, well, shit. They still like doing it just for the sake of doing it, just to say that they can. But a lot of people want more out of Genshin's combat system, and I think that this event is a step forward into, you know, getting that. It remains to be seen if it'll be good enough, though. Which is why I'm saying all of this in a very vague. I don't think it'll be hard, and I think that's the point. I don't think they want this theater thing to be hard. I think they want it to be more accessible for all kinds of players, to the more casual, to the more hardcore. Because a lot of people don't like how the rewards in Abyss are gated, because like a lot of people want to have easier access to Primo Gems, for example. But if they want to max out the Primo Gems in Abyss, they have to get 600, which means that they have to get, well, they have to get 36 stars, and that's hard as fuck. It gets absurd. It gets absurd, exactly. Like, I, for example, don't want to put up with 36 starring Abyss, even though technically speaking, I could theoretically put in the effort and get it. But I don't think it's worth it for me. However, if Imaginarium Theater is not difficult, or rather, it's difficult enough that I don't mind doing it, difficult and fun that I don't mind doing it. Because the thing about Abyss is that it's difficult and it's not fun. I don't mind something to be difficult. In fact, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy a challenge here and there. But if it stops being fun, then I won't play it. I won't bother with it. So this Imaginarium Theater thing has the challenge of being fun. Because if it's fun, I don't care if it's super hard. I don't think it's going to be super hard. And another thing, they seem to not lock the rewards behind, like, you know, time or anything like that. So that's another interesting thing to check out. Whatever. Endgame discussion aside, the interesting thing about this to me, a lore buff, well, not really a buff, but a lore nerd. someone that loves to hear about lore and stuff, is that this to me screams Hexen Circle. So I'm curious if they're gonna add a lot of lore behind it or not. Maybe, who knows? We're gonna find out. Hoyo can upgrade it to be even more like the simulated universe. Yeah, I think the simulated universe in Star Rail is a nice thing to have because it's like, technically speaking, endgame. But it's not difficult or anything like that, and it has its own like set of challenges. I think a simulated universe is a nice thing to have. I would love something like that in Genshin. That one thing though, I would say, I thought that Imaginarium Theater would be more like Labyrinth Warriors, that old school event that they added in like that Child and Shinyan event from way back when with the randomly generated dungeons. Apparently this isn't like it. It's just a bunch of fights. So it's similar to Abyss in that regard. I hoped it would have been like a randomly generated dungeon. That would have been cool. But who knows? Maybe in the future. It'll be something fun for you to do. Yes, that's what I hope. At the end of the day, I just want to have fun with this game. And if you give me an opportunity to have fun, then why the hell am I not going to take it? But yeah, lore-wise, this has to be related to the Hexen Circle. And this Madam Mage person, that has to be one of the members of the Hexen Circle. Now, which one? I don't know. We just know that it's his first iteration. Yes. And it remains to be seen if they do something with it. Like if they change it or something like that. Or if they update it. I'm willing to bet that they're more willing to update it though. Rather than add a new event. I feel like they would be willing to update the mode to be more interesting. Okay. But we're speaking in hypotheticals, you know, supposing things, assuming things, assumptions. We don't really know. We'll know once this update is live and we'll see how people react to it. And Lord knows, MiHoYo will also pay attention. So there you go. I expect Hexen lore. Hell yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, who could it possibly be the one that's behind this? I don't think it's going to be Alice because usually Alice is reserved for the summer patch. Barbeloth, Mona doesn't seem to be involved in whatever story that the game is doing here, so I don't think it's going to be Mona. And also, she is apparently supposed to be, you know, Hydromancer, visionary, and teacher to Mona. She's not, doesn't seem to be related into something like this Imaginarium Theater kind of thing. We don't know much about Rena Daughter, but we do know that she experiments with life forms, so I don't think this makes a lot of sense for her to be related. Nicole? And there's that again, prophetess. Like she's more worried about, like, you know, figuring out the truth of the world and whatnot. And that's the one where I was trying to get. The one who wrote the Boar Princess, Anders' daughter. They might be dead. They are dead, actually. We know they're dead. But because this is related to stories and whatnot, it would make a lot of sense that Anders' daughter would be the one behind this whole thing. She's the author of The Boar Princess and apparently was an exceptional writer. We don't really know much about her, do we? Was able to teach Alice the meaning of grief. Whoa, what the fuck? Okay, that's interesting. Alice did not know what grief was. Anders' daughter was described as a legend that never ends for her stories. Every page of a storybook is a segment of the present.
Is a segment of the present.
It's so vast and mysterious.
Well, there you go. This feels pretty damning. When Ivanovna decided that she would leave the group after marrying, Anders' daughter, Alice, Barbeloth, Nicole, and Rena Daughter wrote her a letter. Discussed as a prophecy, yada yada. Once commented to the group that because her lifespan was much shorter than some of theirs, she wished to leave her storybook, The Poor Princess, to them, and then may pass to the next generation. We really don't know much about this Anders' daughter witch, if we will. We know that she was not a particularly long life form or anything like that. Much unlike the other members of the Hexen Circle, it seems. But if she is a legend that never ends, and the aesthetic and the vibe of this event is, if this endgame mode is to be a storytelling thing, then it makes a lot of sense that the one that is behind the Imaginarium Theater is Anders' daughter. So I'm probably just going to say that that's what it is. One more Lisa content? I don't think we're going to get that. I would like it though. There is still that like obscure piece of lore that says that Lisa has like a shortened lifespan because she once found out information that she shouldn't have or something like that. I don't know if they still stick with it, but yeah. Maybe her spirit stays there. Well, it remains to be seen. I don't know if that is possible because everything that we read so far indicates that Ender's daughter was more of a regular human. Was closer to a regular human than like a higher life form like some of the other members of the Hexen Circle, it seems. Though I wouldn't, like, I mean, she did manage to be a member of the Hexen Circle anyway, so who knows? Yeah, leyline stuff could always happen, so we do get to see the remnants of Anders' daughter at some point. Who knows? Weirder things have happened within Genshin lore.
Is a segment of the present.
That is true. But I think we can say for sure that she's the one responsible for the existence of the Imaginarium Theater in some capacity. Maybe not necessarily through her magic, but a combination of her storytelling with someone else's magic. We'll find out. I think that whole place is like filled with potential Hexen Circle connections. And as we're inching closer to the proper end of the story, we're gonna eventually have to learn more about the fucking about the Hexen Circle. They seem to be an important part of the lore, or if at the very least a big faction that may be a little bit disconnected from everything else, but powerful enough that they might want to intervene at some point when shit gets dicey, which is to say the war against Celestia or something like that. And also leaks indicate that there might be a new character in 4.8, which is one of the Hexen Circle members. Apparently her name is Emily, but we don't know yet. It's very questionable. It's very, very, very questionable what they're saying. Because they've kept it pretty hidden with whether or not they're gonna make that Emily character playable, but we don't know. We're now in 1/3 of the story. Potentially. More. Maybe. We're still missing 2 nations. And then whatever the heck happens with Kyenria, if there's something there. And then what? Celestia? Someone from Hoyo near the beginning of the game's life cycle commented how they planned for they had a 10-year plan for Genshin, and we're going into Genshin's 5th year. Aren't we not? This next one's going to be the 4th anniversary? So going by that, we might be closer to the halfway point of the story. But then there's also the fact that we have to take into consideration that Genshin is a long-term game. They're planning to keep Genshin alive for a long time, so who knows if we're ever going to see a proper end to everything Genshin. Honkai Impact recently finished its first part of the story and has moved on to what they're calling part 2. So I can assure you that they plan to do the exact same thing with Genshin once they finish the Teyvat storyline. So if we're talking Teyvat storyline, we're pretty close to finishing it. Well, not pretty close, but we're closer than we were last year. Or how they changed how Genshin will play. It'll be interesting for sure, but we're so far away from that. Honestly, at this point, I'm more curious about where the story goes rather than like what they're gonna do with the game itself. Okay. And then we get Sethos. I don't think Sethos has anything to do with any of this. It's just that, again, they need to introduce everything that they're gonna add, and that means that sometimes they need to mix things together. Patema inverted? I have inspiration from it. What is Patema inverted? I am curious. Is that a YouTube thing that I could potentially watch, or is it something else? Give me a second. When you say inverted, it reminds me of the theory that the world of Teyvat is upside down. That is a popular theory. Patema inverted. Oh, that's a movie. Oh shit! It's a Japanese movie. What the fuck? It's an anime movie. Oh, look at that. Written and directed by Yasuhiro Yoshida. I don't know who this person is, but oh, Time of Eve. I know of Time of Eve. And what is this thing? Oh, scientists attempt an experiment intended to harness energy from the Earth's gravity. However, the experiment fails and gravity reverses, causing nearly everyone and everything to start flying away from Earth. Holy shit, this seems like a awesome frigging premise. This seems pretty silly. No, actually, it doesn't seem silly. It seems pretty cool. But yeah, it does harken back to the... Hold on, let me see if I can find the actual post. Genshin Upside Down Reddit, because I remember reading it on Reddit. The world of Teyvat is upside down, and at the abyss is the outer space. We're not going to read this whole thing because it's long as fuck, but I think it's worthy of mention. Here it is. Look at that. Several things hint at this geography of Teyvat, and the abyss being the outer space may shed some light on what's going on. The ley lines are on the surface, and they are the roots of the Erminsul. So how the fuck are the roots of a tree in the surface of the world? Well, if you look at it from... If you flip your understanding of it, then the surface of the world becomes the ceiling. Which would make sense that which would make sense then why Erminsul is upside down and its roots are in the surface. And the fact that the sky is fake could be that the sky is fake because if the sky weren't there, you would be seeing outer space. Then there's the whole thing about the abyss. When you do Spiral Abyss and you do the 12 floors, you're going up. You're not going deeper into the abyss. Staircases go up. There's a lot more to this theory, but the key points of it is that are those little bits of information. Ley lines roots are on the surface, huh? The sky is fake, huh? You go up in the abyss, huh? It's like a black hole, could be. But yeah, this whole thing is a very interesting theory, and it's been popular for a while. This was uploaded 1 year ago, even. It was uploaded on March 12th of 2023. So, yeah. There's a lot of potential to be had in this Genshin this upside down theory, which I find very interesting. So yeah, recommend to watch the movie. It does sound interesting. It does sound like something that I would actually adore because I'm a sucker for science fiction like that. I am a sucker for science fiction. And some of my favorite movies are the Makoto Shinkai movies where he messes with supernatural stuff, like Your Name and Weathering with You and Suzume. It feels like that's right up my wheelhouse. So thank you for the recommendation, actually. The Paterna Inverted. Hell yeah. Okay, so Sethos is cool here.
This place with you to the end.
Sure,
Let's
whatever.
Never stop hoping for victory. Way ahead of you.
I cannot listen to him. And not think of fucking Junpei.
Not that I doubt your fighting ability, of course.
And there you go.
So much more dangerous in there than I
There's
ever
Siege Arena.
imagined.
What's interesting is the imagery of these arenas. Because presumably all of these arenas are part of the new event. Are part of the new game mode. Like clearly this one where Sethos is like
I'll explore this place with
related
you
to,
Let's
or
never
at the very
stop
least it's
hoping
like
for
inspired by Sumeru with all the branches of the big tree. And then the one with where Sijuin shows up has a lot of like castles in the back.
Your fighting ability.
What is this? But this right here. This right here. What the fuck is this place? The floor here, I know I probably shouldn't be reading too much into the imagery of this random domain because there's a lot of imagery in a lot of other domains that is just there to be cool and doesn't really offer a lot of lore. But I can't help but think of the color palette of this once again and be like, what the fuck? First of all, it's pretty. This whole thing is very pretty. Look at this. Look at this. Like the ceiling is coated with something that looks like a crystalline thingy. After stuff to Sonic Quest becomes 4-star. Right. Because if he still had the what was it? The power of I forgot the name already. Yeah, if he didn't give away his power, his half of the power to Sino, he would have been a 5-star. Yeah. No. I feel you. I understand what you mean. I don't know who Wolfie is. Is that another Genshin content creator that does a lot of theories or something like that? If so, I might check them out. Yeah, this also right here, just whenever Genshin does this thing with colors that are like more pinkish and purple-ish, I immediately think back to stuff related to the Hexen Circle or the witches. I don't know why exactly. It's just a me thing, probably. Maybe it goes back to that concept art that leaked a long time ago. No, it's Lil Dude. Lil Dude, what? I think you lost me there. Why is Eminem on here? Why is Eminem on here? Excuse me? Excuse me? Also, hi, that's me. That's my live stream that's recommended to me. I'm not gonna do. I one time I opened my own stream on on stream, and that was kind of fun. From trailer or oh okay. The little doll guy. Is that his name? Do we know his name? It's like a fan name. YouTube does it to me too. Yeah, YouTube is weird with their recommendations like that.
So much more dangerous in there than I ever imagined.
There she is. Adorable. The one that at some point we thought was going to be a 4-star. Yeah, from the special program. Oh, there you go then. Completely forgot that little detail. See, then again, I don't pay too much attention because I have to watch the stream during work. So sometimes I miss those little pieces of information. There you go.
Strange disease.
Aha! A strange disease I want to suspect every Fontanian
One
suffer
I
for.
suspected that every Fontanian suffers from.
How? This is all relating to Sijuin's quest now. Again, another thing that's happening in the next version, not related to the Hexen Circle stuff, not related to the new game mode, not related to the other event with the Marriages Hunters or whatever. Completely unrelated. This is Sijuin quest. I'm interested in this disease that every Fontanian suffers from. Why would that be? I mean, every Fontanian was born from an Oceanid. That we know of from the Fontaine World Quest, from the Fontaine story quest, right? So could that be the reason why this strange disease affects only people from Fontaine? Primordial water kind of stuff?
That every Fontanian suffers from.
What are these broken pods of some laboratory?
They don't trust me at all.
They don't trust me. This looks a heck of a lot. I don't even have to say that it looks. This is probably within the Fortress of Merpede, because if we're doing a quest with Sijuin, more than likely we're going to go back to the Fortress of Merpede. And maybe this quest delves more into the reasoning why Sijuin looks the way that she does, instead of looking like normal Melusine, and she looks like a mix between a Melusine and a human. Could these pots right here be like places where someone from ancient times or whatever did heinous experiments on Melusines? Could the reason why Sijuin looks like a blend, like a mix between a human and a Melusine, because she is the product of some experiment by some twisted doctor? Maybe she was rat? I don't know what you mean by that. But like, if you mean it in the same way that I'm hinting, like she was like the product of an experiment, then yes, that could happen. We've seen the lengths that some evil fuckers are willing to go within the world of Genshin. We've seen the stuff that Dottore, for example, has done before. Dottore used to get quote unquote failed members of the House of Hearth during the times of Krukabina to do human experiments on them. If you read the manga, you know that he tested with a Archon residue, or God residue as he called them, with Kale. Dottore has done some heinous thing. Also, hi Daniil. We're still watching the trailer and stuff. So Sijuin being the product of some twisted experiment that attempted to, I don't know, fuse the human race with the Melusine race, doesn't seem too far-fetched to me. And it would be interesting if that's what we get to explore. At least some of that is what we get to explore with her story quest. Because she seems to be talking about how she's not...
Do you really think it matters whether
she's not trusted, whether or not it matters if she's a Melusine or human. It definitely feels like her quest is gonna, you know, touch upon that. And the fact that we're seeing a lot of like experimenting, like this is 100% a experimentation machine or something. Regarding what? Lord knows. Better than had someone do Melusine. Oh God, do not the Melusine. Do not the Melusine, please.
I don't believe Master would suddenly disappear for no reason. There must have been something she just had to do.
Who is this one speaking? Who is this master person? I don't know voice actors in English. Neither would I know in Japanese, really, so whoops.
I don't believe Master would suddenly disappear for no reason. There must have been something she just had to do.
This is probably related, still related to the Seijuin quest. No, do not the Melusine, Squeegee. Do not. It is Chlorine. It does sound like Chlorine's voice, right? So who could it be? Who could she be talking about? Oh, Master. Ooh. Do we know? Do we know who was her master? Let me type for crying out loud. Lore. Master? No, there is no master mention here, but let's see. Huh. Well, we don't know yet. But assuming it is Chlorine, well, we know if it is Chlorine or not. It's just me that I'm not remembering voices. I'm not remembering voice actors or whatever. Who is this master that she is speaking of?
Disappear for no reason. There must have been something she just had to do.
In the new world,
I want to play table game or request from start to trade. Yeah, no, the table game is probably related to the. Actually, yeah, you know, now that you mentioned it, it's probably related to the Chlorine quest because it begins with the description of you will read real history of the Marishus Hunters. Yeah. So this thing that involves Navia, Farina, and even Lenny, of all people, is probably going to be related to the Chlorine story quest of all
from a
things.
bygone era and resolve a series of events unfolding in the
It's an
capital.
interesting combination of characters to be featured in what we assume is actually no, we don't assume. We know that it is Chlorine's story quest. It's not strange. Shiori's story quest involved a bunch of other characters, but the main character was indeed Chlorine, but was indeed Shiori, so it wouldn't be bizarre. It wouldn't be out of place.
There must have
But
been
still,
something she
interesting
just
combination
had
of
to do.
characters.
In the new
There was also
world,
another scene with Farina near the end that was interesting. It looked at her being scared. What the fuck is this? What is this image? What is this place? The key right here is the same key that appears near the beginning of here, where the Imaginarium Theater thing is getting introduced. Yes. But my question is, what the fuck is this sky being torn apart? What the going back to the sky is fake. What am I looking at here exactly? What is this? This feels very Abyss-like. The last few floors of the Abyss have a skybox somewhat similar to this, but with the planets like this. This is the most otherworldly image we've seen in Genshin in a while. I think the only other thing that compares to this kind of imagery is the fight against the whale and the interior of the whale, if you will, like where you fight the other guy. Reminds me of how Arlecchino's ult looked like. Well, Arlecchino's thing is the Crimson Moon, and the Crimson Moon is another piece of lore that is related to Khaenri'ah, of all things. So I don't think this is related to Khaenri'ah. I think, if anything, this is related to the bigger truth of the universe of Genshin, of the whole thing about the sky is fake once again and stuff. Archer, Linny, Healer, Farina, and Tank Navia sounds about right. Oh my god, you're right. They do form a proper party, huh? It's Russia. I'm living here. Wow, you guys have some crazy skies. You have some crazy sky views. I'm not gonna lie.
They bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell.
And now we go into the interesting bit. The Dainsleif quest.
To the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering.
What is he talking? What is he talking about?
Must have been something she just had to do.
Damn quest. I know you meant to say Dane, but damn quest does sound appropriate. In the new world, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun.
They bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering.
They no longer needed to dwell on their to try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. And now we're seeing a lot of like Khaenri'ah imagery. Because this kind of like architecture is the kind of stuff that you find in you found in the chasm and whatnot. Damn quest indeed.
They no longer needed.
And whenever you did like parts of a story that would like send you to the quote unquote past, like in the Carrie Bear storyline. By the way, Carrie Bear shows up. Carrie Bear shows up in this trailer as well. I'm pretty sure this is Dane speaking, is it not? We need to find the. Hold on. Need to find the Japanese dub version of this trailer, JB, because it still has English. There you go. Because of all voices, I feel like I would recognize Dainsleif's voice. Never mind, that is not Dainsleif. That is 100% not Dainsleif. I would recognize Kenji Tatsuda's sulky, smooth voice in a heartbeat. That one I have no problem on like, recognizing. This is not one we know of. This might be Carrie Bear. You're correct. Well, you're not correct. We don't know. But it is an interesting thought. They no longer needed to dwell on the suffering or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure. So maybe we meet the real Carrie Bear, or whatever the hell Carrie Bear became after he underwent the full transformation, right? Because we don't really get to see what happens with Carrie Bear before we get brought back to the present and whatnot in the Carrie Bear quest. Whatever it is, I'm gonna traveler are there. And then here, okay, then we have switched back to the Marriage as a Hunter quest, it seemed. Cool Carrie Bear. Oh no. Are we Marriage as a Hunter? And there you go. Everything is converging, but not in the literal sense, but more like the trailer is picking up, so that's why you have a human appearance that's related to Sijuin. This is just all the stuff that is happening. What is this? There's a figure over here. There is a figure over here which Sijuin seems to be like looking up to. Also, you used it yourself. That's why you have a human appearance. Ooh. Used what? It's me. That's you. What have you done? What have you created that made Sijuin look the way she does? Maybe doctor? Do you mean a regular doctor, or you mean Dottore, the Fatui guy? I don't think Dottore is involved in any of this. Otherwise, they would have teased him in the trailer. They like to do that kind of stuff. They don't like to save those kinds of surprises for the game itself. I am willing to bet that the reason why Sijuin looks like a human / Melusine is because of an experiment or some sort. So maybe the experiment was a thing that someone could drink to have a human appearance or something like that. You used it because it says you used it. What did Sijuin use? And this person is asserting that that's why she has a human appearance. It's kind of possible that it's Dottore. It's not out of the realm of possibility, not gonna lie. But I feel like they would have teased Dottore within this trailer if he was someone involved. I think this is just some other evil doctor. Some bad guy. Yeah, literally some bad guy. You ate a No, do not eat the Melusine either. Why are people wanting to do weird things to the Melusine? Melusine's supposed to be protected at all costs. Also this. What the fuck is that shot supposed to be? Why is Farina looking at this sword, which apparently might be literally the same weapon that... hold on. I'm gonna go back on my own VOD. If you'll forgive me, hold on. I'm gonna go to my own VOD. I'm gonna go back to my own VOD where I played the Sino Quest. It has to be the first stream that I did with the Sino Quest. Because there's a shot because of them being small and petite. Yeah, but that makes them cute, not edible. Also, did you see how long it took to frigging load right there? Jesus Christ. We need to find a shot where the traveler pulls up his weapon and says that he's been through many battles or something like that. So you see how she's like, you're using this? She is just in shock. Okay, maybe we can't go back to my VOD because this fucking blows. But whatever. Just take my word for it. This is the sword. I'm pretty sure this is just the sword that the traveler used. That the traveler like literally pulled up in the Sino Quest. Because I distinctly remember it having like a hilt that was all like dirty and stuff. It is the same. Thank you, Henio. Thank you for corroborating with me. Because YouTube was just not cooperating. So why is Farina holding it? And why does she look so worried? Did something happen to the traveler? Does something happen to the traveler during this quest that gets her worried? Did I disappear? Do they disappear or something like that randomly? Oh, and now we get to the big part. Is that Clarence stepping? Who is? No, that's not Clarence step. Is that a I haven't paid attention. I haven't paid much attention to Lumine's footwear, but I don't think it looks like that. But it is an abyss opening thing. Is it Farina's? Again, I'm not a feet guy, so I don't know how characters' boots look like. This could be Chlorine for all I know. I really don't know whose feet this is. And I don't want to look up Farina feet because at most we're gonna find. Okay, actually, hold on. No, I won't look at it. Looks like from the pattern. It could be. To me, it looks like something that Chlorine would wear, but I don't know. Regardless, some big shit is happening here. Something is popping up out of the abyss thing. I think it's Chlorine. I think it is too. It looks like a Chlorine shoe, but what is with this like effect that's happening here? Have safe search on? It's not about safe search. Hold on, let me see. I'm not... Because I have my own personal Google account on here, so I don't want you seeing how I look like and stuff. That is 100% Chlorine, by the way. That is 100% Chlorine's feet. I can confirm. I can in fact confirm this is Chlorine's feet. Look. That's the feet. That's the feet. It's the same pattern, same color. That's Chlorine's feet. Yeah, again, they keep mixing things together, so it gets confusing. But this is probably this probably happens within the Chlorine quest. The Abyss portal probably happens in the Dane quest. This image right here of the Traveler, which is presumably where they meet Lumine, it happens during the Dane quest. This big monster popping up from the Abyss portal, that might be from the Dane quest. Who knows? This golem that's popping up does kind of look like the Kainrian golems, maybe. That is Dane, some darkness shit or whatever. That's probably related to the Chlorine quest, because this environment is the same environment that where the Traveler and such are in Navia, Chlorine, and the rest are in the beginning of the trailer. That's just Dane, and then here's Lumine popping out the actual sword that they have at the beginning of the game. So this is from at the beginning of the game in the cutscene where they fight, where the twins fight the unknown god. They both have a weapon. They both have a weapon that looks like this. Inexplicably, whoever you pick loses their sword. Let's, for the sake of quote unquote canonicity and the fact that we're looking at this trailer right here and Lumine is the one holding the sword, let's go with the canon being the male traveler. There is an interesting theory that I read. That I'll mention it once I'm done talking about this, which may imply that it literally does not matter who you picked. They're both canon, and I find it very interesting, but we'll discuss it in a bit. You pick Lumine? Go one. I didn't. I don't regret not picking Lumine, though. For some reason, I think, I don't know why it is. It might be biased or something. It might be me being biased, but I feel like Lumine makes for the better Abyss twin. It makes a lot more sense to have Lumine be the Abyss twin, right? Like the Abyss princess. I don't know. That has a nicer ring to it, and her demeanor and like her design and whatnot. I don't know. I just feel like she fits better the role of antagonist than protagonist. But the truth is, they both fit the role well. So they really had a good point. They really made a good job with designing both of them. I feel like so. Whatever. The male traveler is just used for marketing. Yeah, most of the marketing and whatnot and whatever trailers released and stuff like that used the male traveler, which led a lot of people to say, "Ooh, male traveler is the canon traveler." Who cares? Who gives a shit? If the game gives you the both options, then there is no one canon option. They have to pick for the trailers and stuff, because if they are inconsistent, it becomes a little bit. Star Rail kind of does it well, because Star Rail doesn't seem to have any correlation between the two versions of the main character, so they are free to switch between the two at will. That's fine. They use Stealth for some of the trailers. They use Kaelis for some of the trailers. It's fine. We know that the two of them don't really have any connection because there's no particular connection between them. You just pick from one of the receptacles of the Stellaron once you begin the game. It's not like in Abyss, it's not like in Genshin where the two protagonists are actually characters. And okay, let me just bring this up now because it's related to all of this. There's the theory. I haven't read much about it, but from what little I've seen, I don't care if people see it as canon or not. Yeah, that's if you prefer to believe that the canon traveler is Lumine, well, go right ahead. It doesn't quite matter. However, there is a popular theory that revolves around the potential samsara, like the one that we were during the Sumeru quest, or colloquially known as a time loop, where the events of the game have already happened, and we've been in an infinite loop since the beginning. And this might be like another iteration of it. And maybe in each iteration, the twins, the Abyss twins, the travelers switch places, which would, in theory, make both of them canon. So, like in the particular iteration that this trailer is showing, the protagonist is Ether, the male traveler. But in another one, if you pick Lumine, you're playing another iteration where the protagonist is Lumine. So maybe by the time we get to the end of Genshin, there's going to be some time loop shenanigans that will tell us, hey, this has happened before already. I don't know. I haven't read too much about it. It sounds interesting, and it would be an interesting way of putting a nail on the coffin on the canon protagonist discussion, because it would essentially mean that both of them are canon protagonists. It just depends on, who you pick in the sense of like which number of iteration it happens. We've had like 3 trace iterations. Well, that's a whole other thing. End of Genshin sounds like something unreachable. I guess the more accurate thing would be to say end of Teyvat, which is a much more reachable thing because we're close to it. End of Genshin does sound more unreachable, don't you think? But yeah, end of Teyvat chapter, 100%. achievable. We're very close to it. Natlan was just announced. Well, not announced. Natlan is starting to be teased, and after that, it's just Nesnaya. And then we're like endgame with the story, pretty much, because we've discovered we've explored every region, we met every Archon. The only thing that's left at that point is fucking figure out what the heck happened in Khaenri'ah and go against Celestia. We don't have much Paimon lore. We might be getting that at some point. We might be getting that at some point. I don't think Paimon is as big in the story as people think she is. I definitely think that eventually we're going to find more about Paimon, but I don't think Paimon is going to have like a pivotal role in the story, anything like that. I don't think they're planning to do like a Paimon betrays the traveler or something like that twist. I don't think they're planning on doing that, but I do think they plan on revealing something about Paimon eventually. Genshin 2. Genshin 2, baby. But also, what is this shot implying? Does Lumine want to fucking kill Dainsleif? Is that what's going on? You don't have Paimon Arcus is literally just a talking head and it's stupid. I mean, you're not entirely wrong. Paimon serves a very specific role in the story, whether you like it or not. But I do think there is some lore behind her existence that would be interesting to explore. I just don't think it's going to be very, very game-changing, That's what I mean. I don't dislike Paimon. Paimon just sometimes gets on my nerves, but I live with it. Also, by the way, this is Lumine speaking, isn't it? And that's Dainsleif speaking. Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal. And then this is the big one. The Loom of Fate has already been completed. The Loom of Fate is something that was brought up for the first time during the Carrie Bear quest. And Carrie Bear himself has something to do with the creation of this Loom of Fate. Now, we don't exactly know what the Loom of Fate is, but popular theory is that it would be something that would allow the Abyss to take control of fate itself. It is the same voice from before. It's interesting that the same voice is saying that the Loom of Fate has been completed, which lends credence to the idea that who we're hearing right there is Carrie Bear himself. Absolutely hate her. Oh god, you're serious about that? I mean, it's fine. I can't say that she hasn't given reasons for why people would hate her. Yeah. I understand. No big deal. No, don't worry about it, Daniel. There you go. The Loom of Fate is an ongoing operation that the Abyss Order has undertaken. The name was first used by Clothar a few centuries prior to the event of the game to describe his son, Carrie Bear. So Carrie Bear is like literally the Loom of Fate. She is cute. Paimon is cute. So Carrie Bear became the Loom of Fate after being imbued with abyssal power and would be able to weave his destiny anew. Right? In current terms, the term refers to attempts by the Order to construct a mechanical god. Really? I forgot about that bit. Huh. But yeah, during the quest Carrie Bear, Clothar said that the Loom of Fate wasn't completed yet. But now it is. So, whoever it is, this person that we're hearing, this might be during the present time. And Dainsleif might be around because he's planning to go against them. And maybe, also, by the way, but whatever, before, maybe Lumine is there because Lumine is going to stop her. I mean, it's going to stop him, right? Everything is converging because it seems that the Abyss Order's plans are starting to, come to fruition, starting to move. But what's interesting is that they go from this transition between Dainsleif and the Ruin Guard. The Ruin Guard that used to carry Lumine in that old trailer. The field tiller, I think is what they called her, right? And then everything is brought together once again. And then Lumine and Ether meet. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you? Interesting. Dane would be a boss fight later. It would be an interesting thing. To be fair, it was called a field tiller. Yes. To be fair, on the Dane would be a boss fight.
Now, you who has set foot in this world, your journey has reached its end, but one final doorway remains. Step forth if you have understood the meaning of your journey. Defeat me.
There you go. Dane himself is saying defeat me, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dane's Live himself is a boss near the end of the game, but definitely not now. And the fact that he's saying this literally after the Kainria bit of the Teyvat chapter trailer, it does make me think that Dane's Live won't die in this new version. They won't kill off Dane's Live so quickly. Not when his role in the story has been barely even explored. After the Kainria trailer, yes.
This does not fall. There are those who dream of dreaming.
This trailer is organized in acts, right? In big acts in the story. Act 5, the one that we're about to go into in Netland, is well, this one, Incandescent Total Resurrection.
The victors shall burn bright, while the losers...
And then the next one is Everwinter Without Mercy, which happens in Snesnaya. And then after that, it switches to not in Act 8, interestingly enough. I always found that interesting.
There are those who dream of dreaming.
It's Act... We don't know. But at the very least, we know it has to do with Kainria.
Chosen and the rest are dregs.
And that's when Dane's Live gets his introduction.
We will defy this world with a power from beyond.
And with his abyss powers. The current running theory about Dane's Live is that he will be a playable character because they confirmed that like way back in the beginning of the game. Like before launch, they said Dane's Live will be playable. Yes. Which is a wild thing to say because we've known Dane's Live since launch. And to say that he's going to be playable 8 years later, that's fucking crazy. Please, yeah. You really think they're going to kill someone in Genshin? It's probable, yeah. Signora is like the exception. I do like the theory that Signora will be resurrected in in Netland. I don't buy it, but it is funny to think about. But yeah, it's after this whole Kainria thing that he says defeat me.
Step forth if
you mean 5 years? No, I mean like 8. Because think about it. Since launch, I'm talking since launch, Hoyo has said that Dane's Live is going to become playable since launch, and Kainria is not even going to happen until 4 years from now, or something like that. So yeah, let's assume since launch, 8 years after, that's when Dane's Live becomes playable. But the running theory is that Dane's Live is playable, and he is like a user of a new type of elemental power. Maybe not even elemental.
Some say a few are
because he says power from beyond, right?
But I say we humans have our humanity. We will defy this world with a power from beyond.
There you go. So the theory is that eventually they're going to add a new element or something. That a new element that is like abyss related or something like that. Could you hear my mom yelling out there, by the way? But yeah. Where were we, by the way? We were in the 4.7 version. There's really not much more after this. But yeah, they've had this roadmap for a long time, which is crazy to think about. And it's crazy to think that we're closer to the end of it than we were at the beginning. So the other thing that came out is this animated short that has a cool-ass Eimer song. I don't think it's very lore-heavy, But it lends credence to the theory of the time loop thing that I was talking about, because it's very it emphasizes a lot with the travels that Lumine had with what's his face, Dainsliv in the past, in contrast to the travels that Aether is having with Paimon in the present. So it's mostly based off of that. And like the whole idea of them retracing the same steps and stuff like that. There is a thing that is very interesting though. Also, by the way, oh, she doesn't have the Skirk says that we are cool because we win without beyond power. Well, there you go. Abyss power might be one of the new elements, but the power from beyond or something might be another element. They might be adding 2 new elements that represent like something like light and dark, which would be interesting, that have no relation to the rest of the elemental powers, but like have some connection with themselves. That's something that like Honkai Impact has done. They introduced 2 new elements that aren't related to the previous elements that they already had. They call them imaginary and quantum, and they like contrast each other's. So I feel like they're gonna do something like that with Genshin eventually. Yeah, no, this is made by the MiHoYo team. MiHoYo has created a animation studio, if you will, within the company itself that is solely in charge of making Genshin animations. So at this point, whenever you see a new Genshin animation, it's made by them, unless it's somewhat related to the Genshin anime by Ufotable that we don't know of yet of anything. Someday it's gonna come out, maybe not. Who cares? Oh, it has lyrics. I forgot about this. Yay, travels. That is the destruction of Khaenri'ah, right? Like the same we see in one of the first trailers that were released. Oh, I just noticed this. I didn't realize. This is the moment that Aether fishes out Paimon. Timmy's birds. There you go. Dane doing the thing that you have to do, pushing away Timmy's birds. He's being a bit like, chill about it. From the We'll Be Reunited video. Yes, we will be reunited. English heart. There's an interesting thing to point out. I remember someone on Reddit mentioning it. Or I think it was on Twitter either. I don't know. Whenever you switch to Lumine's POV, Dainsliv is always like far behind her. Like they're always like constantly separated, which leads me to believe that their connection wasn't as strong as the connection that Paimon and the Traveler have. Look at that. They're 5 feet apart. Why the fuck are they 5 feet apart? What's with this? What's with this big separation? Like what is it? Social distancing? What the fuck? Look at how depressed Lumine looks all the time. What the fuck? God, I love Discord. Help me. I cannot help you with that, MC. Also, hi. Welcome in. But look at this. It's like fucking the Traveler and Paimon are sleeping right next to one another. That's fucking adorable. Also, Lumine feet for those who are into that. Also, Mechanopsis. Unrelated, but it's there. It's almost as if Dainsliv is just watching over Lumine on her own travels. They're not necessarily like partners, if you will. Feet, yes. But Paimon and the Traveler feel like legit partners, whereas Dainsliv feels like it's like Lumine's bodyguard or something like that. I do feel bad for Lumine too. Presumably this is like after they were separated for the first time, right? So at this point maybe she's just like, in the same position that Aether was at like early in the game. She just fucking misses her brother, man. The Aranara and everything. Look at that. Also that right there, and the flower that she's holding, In Teyvat. I ain't hearing all that. Well, that's fine. In Teyvat, the flower that is mentioned in one of the chasm quests, if I recall correctly. Yeah. This right here is Carrie Barrett's house. Aw, look at that. Also, that flower that was right there, another in Teyvat. There isn't a lot of lore to dissect on this one, other than the fact that this is just, you know, an adorable and a lovely animation that can even fucking tug at your heartstrings. Are you kidding me? It's the power of the Eimer song, I feel like. The snow all melts away, and then a shot of fucking... They're just traveler companions, but we're friends with Paimon. It definitely feels that way, doesn't it? Without even putting titles on it, it 100% feels obvious that whatever that the relationship that Paimon and the traveler have is far more, you know, what's the word? They're far closer than Dainsleif and Lumine were ever. Like, this is the biggest bit. When the traveler is waking up, Paimon comes in and straight up just like grabs him by the hand to go along. And then when Lumine is ready to go, Dainsleif just comes from behind and is like, "Pat, let's go." That right there. And then he goes like way in front of her. That tells you fucking everything about the relationship between the two. And it tells you the difference between Paimon and the Traveler with Lumine and Aether. Lumine and Dainsleif. I feel like this short was mostly to, you know, showcase that. And I feel like they dropped it now because they knew that the new quest is going to be related to the relationship between Lumine and Aether. They're going to meet and we're going to learn more about them. And Dainsleif. So I feel like this makes a lot more sense to have been released before the quest than the Krukabina one. Are some of the chat messages reversed? I have no idea what you mean. Through breaking 1 to the power... Oh, God. Dane is insanely like, yeah. Cold and distant to Lumine. It's interesting. Also, these are Japanese comments. What are the Japanese people saying? I can't help crying when I realize that the firefly that ties my brother's hair actually exists. Aww. Looking at the expression of Soda, that's Aether's. A face that he hadn't shown to his friends, that Eve or even Paimon. I think he must have been saved quite a bit when... I don't know who Kangumo is supposed to be. What the fuck? Sakuna of Rise and Ruin is getting an anime adaptation? This is unrelated to Genshin. I just know the game and I'm surprised that it's getting an anime. What the fuck? Also, there's a Cat with Blue Hat video on this. Cat with Blue Hat is a very good lore channel. I'm not subscribed to them, by the way, but whoops. Are you Arabian? Might be. AMC's name looks weird on the screen for some reason, but on YouTube chat, like if you look at the actual chat on YouTube, not on my stream, it looks normal. It's bizarre. So this is road not taken just what could have been if the siblings weren't separated. Yes, in a way it does. See the two spending time with each other and enjoying Teyvat. It's just a what if and it doesn't actually happen. Yep. Remember when we didn't know what Aether and Lunane? Yeah. I knew their names. I just didn't know their names in Japanese, okay? That's it. 25. That's a SpongeBob joke. I recognize it. You're not gonna fucking get me with that. Probably before leaving Teyvat? Well, that's the thing. We don't necessarily know. Dawn signifying her waking up 500 years prior. That's the thing, yeah. While Aether wakes up at dusk 500 years later than Lumine. Interesting. Interesting way of portraying it, yes. Yeah, and then it just switches back and forth between the two time periods when Lumine was traveling with Dainsleif and when Ether is traveling in Paimon. Trees are young with thinner trunks. I was driving alone before meeting Dainsleif. And then Ether visits and it's a bigger forest. That is true. She okay wearing the same clothes for 500 years? It's a very nice fabric. It's a very strong, very resistant fabric. The stairs here are pretty new, yes, and then it's like overgrown. Some of the stairs are broken. That is true. What's interesting is that Mondstadt itself doesn't look that much different from what we see in game. Also, hi Slushy, welcome on in. We're now we watched a bunch of animations and trailers, and now we're just watching Cat with Blue Hat like describe it, just because I found it on recommended, and and I think that's interesting. Welcome on in. 500 years is longer than the speed of light. The speed of light, I don't remember the number of the speed of light, but it has a number. Don't worry about it. Throughout the animation, there's always a distance between Dainsleif and Lumine. There you go, see? Paimon and Ether are always much closer. Yes, because they're friends. Fucking stupid Dainsleif being a cold piece of shit. It's his fault. Someone played Withering Waves? Some people here in chat have. I haven't. I have a stream planned on Wednesday where I plan on going over Withering Waves for a bit. What? No one's harassing anybody, MC. What the heck are you talking about? And if someone's harassing anyone, I will be the first to like, you know, ban them or something like that. But so far, nothing's happening. Alright, yes, so yeah, this is the Carry Bear quest. I feel like what this like section of the story of the animation, well, not really, because what happens during the Carry Bear quest is that we essentially take the place of our sibling. Yeah, we take the place of our sibling, and we're like watching her memories through us. Called Zabisa. I didn't say that. And if I did, I meant it as a joke. I wouldn't insult my chat. Very desperate and frustrated. Well, yeah. Ether has never reached a point, probably thanks to Paimon, because Paimon is nice to us. Paimon genuinely cares. And there's another bit during the Carry Bear quest. Remember when Ether comes back? Well, Ether or whoever you pick comes back from like the whole frigging flashback thing. Like the first thing they do is hug Paimon. It's like, oh, that shows you like the kind of relationship that they have. Paimon really cares about the Traveler because she gets super anxious whenever like they're separated, and the Traveler does as well. Traveler like legit misses Paimon. So they formed like an inseparable bond that Dainsleif and Lumine never really formed. Makes sense if you understand Lumine's position. The traveling partner had lost his people. His nation is suffering from a curse. That's true. Lumine picked a very terrible partner. Lumine picked a very terrible partner to drive. to travel. That's what my laptop is at the very hot temperature. Well, you can put something underneath it. Like you could put a book and like rest like the laptop on the book. People try to treat the Travelers in canon and with Paimon. With the emergency food and whatnot. When Ether is searching for Lumine, he soon found hints of her insistence. But yeah, Lumine like traveled for 500 years and found fucking nothing. That is an interesting thing. Why did that happen? Hey, what's the deal? Like, there's got to be a reason why she was depressed for 500 years. Like, you think she would have found something. But why? situation in Kyenria, which they seem to play themselves for. The Traveler has been very fucking annoying with what they know of Kyenria, because the Traveler clearly knows more than we, the player, know. It's just that those things haven't been revealed yet, and that bothers me. I know there's a reason for it. I understand. It bothers me anyways, okay? It just does. Hey, that MC's words are reversed. I swear I don't understand what you mean by MC's words being reversed. Because, y'all, I see his text normal. Like, some of the words are like weird, but that's... Unless I'm not looking at chat properly. MC, send a message. Send a message. I'm actually paying attention to the... Hold on. MC, I'm ordering you to send a message. I'm kidding. I'm not ordering you. But if you can send a message, I want to do a... Hold on. You see it normally. That is a very interesting thing. I don't know what you guys are talking about when you say that their words are reversed. Like, the way I see it is the way that it shows up on stream. Like, if I look at YouTube chat normally, I see the text just, you know, being normal. In YouTube mobile is reversed. What the fuck? Hold on, let me check. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, I'm curious now. I'm legit curious. Okay, shut up, me. Oh my god, what the fuck? They are. Huh? How does that happen? What? How the fuck does that happen? What the heck? Irev atasi potal im ovo edis etl echt dog. That is super weird. What the heck? On PC, it just shows up normally. Yeah. That is so strange. How the hell did that happen? Stop cursing your family. Curse of Raw. Oh my god, that is super interesting. Wow. Look at that. Reverse text. I don't know how the heck he does it, but his text is reversed if you look at it on YouTube mobile. But if you look at it on PC, it's fine. If you look at it on PC, it just looks like it just looks like you see it on the chat screen. Okay, so this video is like not saying much that we haven't known, really. It's mostly like a... Yeah, it's mostly, but I do still recommend checking Cloud with Blue Hat stuff. He does a lot of lore stuff, like very condensed in an interesting way. I do prefer narrated videos over these, like, you know, text on screen kinds of things. But this is a different way to, you know, like, consume information if you prefer it. And then finally, the last thing that they released in the trailer was Netland teaser, which honestly there is a lot right here. It's just a bunch of animals. What we do know of this is that there's 6 icons here, presumably 1 for each element, except Dendro, or maybe not Dendro. We don't know what the except. I want to do that to troll people. I don't know how they do it though. I legit don't know how they do it, but it's interesting. These probably all represent like different beasts that we can transform. Pokemon Gen 10, hell yeah, because we get 3, right? Like the 6 turn into 3, and then we like, for each icon, we go into one of them, into the new monsters that we can transform, or beasts. Saurians, as they're called. If you played the newest event, like about the guy that wants to befriend big monsters, well, that guy comes from what has been traveling in Netland and keeps telling us Netland bits of lore. And he mentions how humans and Saurians cohabitate in Netland, right? These beasts are the Saurians. And The gameplay mechanic, the gameplay traversal mechanic in Natlan seems like it's going to be being able to transform into these these like saurian beasts or whatever. You can see the Triquetra. Yeah, the Triquetra is everywhere. The Triquetra, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's everywhere. It's not even just in Genshin. It's literally everywhere. Yeah, you turn into the guys. Like this guy seems to be able to burrow in the ground and also the wall. Also, by the way, Natlan seems to have very heavy South American influences. Mesoamerica, maybe more specifically, like the whole Mayan and Aztec civilizations from the past and whatnot. This graffiti on the wall seems to be a little bit more modern, maybe, because you know this kinds of stuff is like you see in cities, in cities in this day and age. But this kind of stuff in like actual hill walls, that's like South America, man. That's like very South America, right? Like the area of Peru or something like that. Plus the flute you hear right now is very literally called a Peruvian flute. So if you're wondering what the inspirations for Netland were as a region, South America, Mesoamerica. One NPC in Baida Harbor talks about Netland. Yeah, it might be. Since we're getting close to Netland, that's when Hoya likes to like introduce a lot of things about Netland. And then we turn into this guy that can apparently swim, but also swim in lava, into a little jump and into this thing. There's volcanoes. There's volcanoes in Natlan. Natlan is also the home of the, what is it called? The place where Bennett was found. The Marajivari, which is supposed to be a very like harsh desert that no human could survive in. And Bennett was found there. Also, this thing back here looks like a fucking oculi. This might be the Natlan oculi. Check his lines in the wiki. Yeah, I'm not doing it. It'll take a long time. I just believe your word. We thought about region of war, scorched earth, volcanoes. It is, yeah. Here's the thing, Natlan, from like potential leaks and whatnot, people have said that. Also, that right there. Oh no, never mind. That's just the thing that he latches onto to traverse. The land is beautiful. At the very least, this bit. The mountains themselves are like painted with big ass like graffiti. So it's not just graffiti. It's just like actual part of the terraforming. Also, the shape of the fucking of the mountains, very reminiscent of the Grand Canyon as well. What did I want to say? But yeah, this is basically the entire Natlan trailer. Here's the thing, Natlan. What I'm trying to say about the thing of like the war-torn region or scorched earth, this isn't all of Natlan. What I was trying to say is that Natlan, from leaks and what people have talked about, it could potentially be the biggest region in Genshin ever so far. Sumeru was pretty big. Natlan could be even bigger than that. And Sumeru is divided into two different biomes, the desert and the rainforest. Now, there are 6 tribes in Natlan, much like the 6 icons over here. And we already see a little bit of variety in between the different beasts. Like, for example, these guys seem to live mostly in like the caves of Natlan. And the guy in the new event talks about the mines in Natlan and how the way to get to Natlan from Sumeru is through the mines. So there's like an underground cave system. That's one part of Natlan. Natlan would be like Sumeru is in 3.1, something like that. Yes. I don't know if this is a theory or if someone actually leaked it or said it at some point. But there might be like one kind of biome for each of the 6 tribes in Natlan, which means that, well, you have the mines, you have like the water part here, like this, you have the volcanoes, you have this like foresty looking kind of thing, and then you have the canyons. I feel like when people say that Natlan is like war-torn and whatnot, they're probably referring to a very specific to a very specific part of like Netland. I don't think everything in Netland is going to be like war-torn or whatever the fuck. From artifacts we know? Ah, there you go. Yeah. Also, by the way, this is I spotted one of the one of the places where you can get where you use one of the keys from the oculi. I already know where it is. There was a Twitter thread I found with a lot of that showcased a lot of the inspiration for Netland that I wanted to look over a little bit. Give me 1 second until I find it. Don't want to accidentally show some things that could get me banned. Where's my bookmarks? Thank you. What the? No, what? No, I want to... Thank you. Okay, there we go. This one. Discussing the geomorphology of Netland, a pre-release analysis. There's 5 items in here. Horsts and grabens. This is the shape that I was talking about in the hills and whatnot. Cracked lowlands in Netland might be based on horsts and grabens, which are higher blocks horsts and lower blocks grabens split by faults as a result of the land stretching and splitting due to tectonic forces. There you go. This is how they would look like IRL. And then you have mesas and butts. Has it been a week since WoW has released? There's already some mods for it. Yeah, those the modders do not wait. Monument Valley. See, this is how it looks, and this is how it looks in real life, and this is how it looks in Genshin. Mesas are like flat pieces of land, and butts are like butts. I don't know how to pronounce those things. They're the opposite. Flat top land with steep sides, and the top of a mesa is bigger, but its height bigger than its height, and the height of a butt is bigger than its top. Erosion will eventually turn mesas into butts and butts into isolated towers like this. Monument Valley. This is how it looks. You have painted walls. There you go. They are a naturally occurring thing. Painting cliffs in Netland might be graffiti, but it may be referencing the dikes of the Black Canyon, like these things. So there might be some graffiti, but also there might be some actual naturally occurring painting of the walls in here. Vertical intrusions of magma that cut rock layers and cooled into igneous rocks. There you go. Something like that. There's also a little bit of a reference if you would like to look at that. Hoyo doing Nat Geo is mind-blowing. There you go. Hoyo pays a lot of attention at the design of their regions and whatnot. Like, so they 100% take into consideration stuff like this. So yeah. There's not much more to talk about, guys. That's pretty much it. I forgot that I had Genshin open throughout this entire thing. We're still in Genshin. Look at this shit. Oh, hold on. You're not supposed to be seeing this. Fuck that. I forgot to, I should have closed Genshin. I didn't go back. I didn't come back to Genshin or anything like that. But yeah, that was fun. Went for 3 hours. I thought I was gonna like get tired after like hour 1 of discussing things, but no, we're here now. I would do something else, but my voice is tired. I've spoken for a while today, so I think check feather. Which feather? The new one? Let's see. I don't even know if I have one of the new artifacts actually. Let's see. Do I actually have to own one of the artifacts to read its lore? Because I don't think I have. This one? Nighttime Whispers of Echoing Woods? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to... Apparently that one's locked too. What? How do I check the lore again? Give me the lore of this thing. Unfinished Reverie. Oh, this one. Ah, right, it's the burning set. Right. Details. There we go. Description. Whosoever lays eyes upon the turquoise adorned carvings shall have their minds souls seized by the ingenuity of their design. A young girl What the heck? Ooh, emerald coated colored quetzal. Quetzal. That's a South American term. That's, I think, Mayan, really? Something Mayan related of those kinds. So he was condemned for protecting the tribe's Saurians when his life was taken from him. Okay. I wonder what this is all about. I'm not one to read. I'm not one to typically read like the lore of these artifact pieces. I should though. But yeah, this is all related to Sumeru. Plus the design itself of the artifacts that you can tell that it's a. This just looks like a mate. This just looks like a mate. This is just like a flask where you drink mate in Argentina. Listen, some of the geography in that land might actually be inspired by Argentina, because we got landscapes like that in here too. We do indeed have landscapes like this. This is interesting. I gotta get an Ashikai video to explain like this kind of lore to me, because this is a bit too much for me to take in. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff happening in Genshin, and I'm excited. Shut up, Shangli. I'm excited about it. Very excited about it. And I could yap. I like that I love that I was able to yap about a lot of things today. My throat is hurting, kinda, a little bit. It's a bit sore. I just need to get some water and I'll be fine. And we'll be good. But I think I'm gonna call it for today here, guys. I'm gonna call it for today. I'm gonna go get something to drink, something to eat. And I'll be seeing you on Wednesday when we get to try out Wuthering Waves and see what the whole shabab is about. Shabab, is that a word? All the hubbub? That's a word. All the fuzz is about. I want to try it out. We'll try it out for a few hours. I heard that the first few hours of the game aren't very good. Whatever. I'm mostly in it because I kind of want to try out the combat of the game, because it's like the one thing that people keep saying that it's so good. At the very least, I want to get a grip of that. And hey, if I somehow get interested in the story, maybe I continue the story some other time on stream. Maybe. Don't think so. But who knows? Never say never. I know for a fact I don't see myself playing Wuthering Waves on a daily basis like I do my other gacha games, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, and Honkai Impact. I do not see myself doing that. But I am very curious about it anyway, which is why we're doing the stream on Wednesday. So, with that being said, it's been fun. I'll be seeing you when I see you, which is Wednesday for Wuthering Waves. And yeah, thank you all for hanging out. Bye-bye.